Hi everybody. I wanted to talk about a subject that I've kind of dealt with in the past, and actually it's always been a struggle for me. Um, so, and it continues to be part of my life. It's a very important subject that a lot of people don't face, or a lot of people might say that it shows weakness. A lot of people are scared to ask for help or don't know where to go to get help for somebody. So we're going to talk, yes, about suicide prevention. Everything that I have has come from all the old papers that I have written in the past, and also the website afsp.org. Or, you can know it as American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. This is a very, 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 very big topic to talk about. It doesn't really matter, if you're transgender or not. If you lose a loved one, and you go through that hard time, some people have suicidal thoughts during that. So, warning signs. If people are talking about being a burden to others, or if they feel trapped, or having no reason to live, stuff like that, those are very clear warning signs that somebody is a little bit suicidal. So those little things by conversation is something that you need to pick up on, and you need to watch out for, and you need to follow up on. So the behaviors, it's going to be increased risk of alcohol and drug use. Somebody researching how to commit suicide, ways to kill themselves, sleeping too much or not enough, calling people to say goodbye, or acting recklessly, withdrawing from activities or family and friends. If you notice somebody that becomes very isolated all of a sudden, and that they're going through some stuff, that's the time that you need to really, really push forward and check on them. Again, I'll have all the, I'll have the website and also the number to call at the end of the video, and also in the description, so everybody will have it. Okay, so people's moods can tell you a lot, and depression is a very, very big thing in today's world. A lot of people are depressed. Not everybody seeks help for it, so it just kind of, gets under the skin and just kind of boils up where it's uncontrolled. So that is one of the main things that you need to look out for. That and anxiety. Anxiety can build up and cause big stressors, which eventually have breaking points. Then you have humiliation, along with the anxiety and depression, that can really, really take somebody down really quick. If you notice somebody becoming enraged easily, or irritability, that's a sign. If there's a loss of interest, that's another sign. These are all moods that somebody will show if they're possibility for suicidal intent. Okay, so mental health factors that can play a part of suicide. There's depression. All mental health needs to be taken serious, and inside of mental health there are different tells, and a couple of them are depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, psychotic disorders, borderline personality disorder, antisocial disorder. Those are all mental health issues that go along with possibility of suicide. And along with the mental health side of it, there's substance abuse disorder. You know, you need to watch out for any kind of drug use or any kind of increase in alcohol or anything like that. That could be a sign also. Alright, so we have environmental factors, things that can play a part in suicide. You have stressors, like living under stressful times, like losing your job, losing a loved one, you know, divorce. Those are all high stressors that can add to the possibility of suicide. Then you have prolonged stress factors. Maybe like relationship problems that have been going on for a long time. Maybe you've been unemployed for a while and you know the bills are starting to come in, you feel like you're drowning. That's a big possibility right there. And then harassment is another one that can lead to it. Harassment is, in today's world, is a very big factor in negativity. You know, there's so much harassment going on that some people that harass others think of it as kidding or joking around, but really they don't understand the impact of the harassment that is taking a toll on the other person, and that's always been a big factor in what builds up towards suicide. Exposure to another person's suicide or something very brutal, like a very brutal scene, that can trigger emotional thoughts in the brain that can make you, can make one go down a bad path. You know, anything that's really graphic, that shows a lot of terribleness, that, you know, makes you really think about how the world is, it can take you down a negative path. You know, and another thing that you need to look out for in people is if there's been any family history of suicide, or if you know or maybe suspect that maybe this person has attempted in the past or thought about it in the past. That is something that you need to consider when you know, moving forward with somebody that you're worried about, or if you yourself are worried about yourself. These are things that you really need to consider, and you need to find help. So, in America, U.S., the suicide is the 10th leading cause of death. You know, it's 42,773 Americans die by suicide every year. That's roughly about 117 a day. That's how big suicide is. That's how trying times that people live in. And that's the reason why we all need to look out for each other. We all need to help each other. And that's another reason why you need to look out. And if you see somebody struggling, you know, help them. And if you're struggling, get help. And about 50% of the suicides are done by firearms, followed by suffocation and poison. Again, these are all just, you know, suicide is a terrible, terrible thing, but it does happen. You know, personally, I struggled with this in my life a lot, and you know, when I was younger and I was trying to talk and find somebody to believe me, you know, and talk to me about me feeling like I wanted to transition, I felt alone, and nobody would really listen to me. So, and I've always been the person that I emotionally invest in friendships, and so I'm always forward and very, very open about stuff. And when you do that, and you know, you're very vulnerable. So people come and go, and that can really, really hurt when you invested so much time in somebody and you've been so emotionally able to like provide information to them about what's going on with you, your life, and you know, you see them as a person that you trust and that, you know, they're a stable part of your life, and then to have them gone can really, really affect you in negative ways. You know, and I've been struggling ever since I started my actual transition. It's hard for everybody that's going through transition. There's a lot of factors. I know sometimes being out in public, I question myself. Again, as I've said on my other videos, my weight is a big problem for me. I don't really feel comfortable in my weight, and that is a part where I feel more depressed and anxious when I'm out in the world because of my weight. I'm not comfortable with it, and therefore it's on my mind when I'm out in the world, so then it becomes this evil cycle. So that's an issue that I have to work on. But you know, so many things can play part into suicide, and it's not a funny thing. It doesn't show that somebody's weak. You know, back in the day, people used to say, "Oh, it just, you know, that's a easy way out. It's weak." It's not. It's not. People that actually go through that, I can tell you from my experience, if you ever get to the point where you feel like you're drowning, whether it be in thoughts, emotions, being terrified of everyday life, if you feel hopeless, these are all things that happened to me that led up to my points of when I had issues. You know, I've gone through the divorce, I've gone through my military time. There are a lot more things in my life that I don't really wish upon anybody, and that's the reason why, you know, that's another reason why I want to help so much, is because I want to help people out that go through similar things. But you know, any of these things that build up, it could be so simple as, you know, just being stressed out, not being happy with your everyday life, then you lose your job, or you know, you lose a family member. That can push you to the extreme, and that it's a scary time. I think that we all need to be involved and look out for each other and talk. If you ever feel to the point that you're, you know, upset to the point that you're even entertaining the thought, or even if you might have thought it in the past and you know that you're going down a bad route, call the number. It's, again, the number is 1-800-273-8255, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And then the website that I found all this, which you can find material there if you're worried about somebody, or if you're concerned about yourself, or if you're just wanting to information. That way you can help people in the future. It's afsp.org, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. All of this is helpful. I believe that everybody should be aware of, like, suicide prevention. It is a very real thing, and in today's world we are all having stressors. You know, and you never know. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know the full story. If you're worried about somebody, be involved. You know, people hide how they feel because they're scared. Some people feel alone and they don't know how to ask for help because they've been hurt so much in the past. So these are all things that have blocked people from coming forward and talking about it. And you know, it's not a bad thing to talk about. It's better to talk about it, get it off your chest, seek help. Because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. You never know. That's one of the things that keep me going, is, you know, the possibilities of what could happen tomorrow. But you just remember that you never know what people are going through. You never know how bad other people have it. There's no reason to harass other people. There's no reason to bully other people. There's, you know, no reason to get into somebody's business to the point where you're stressing them out. Now, that all aside, if you're worried about somebody, call the number. You know, reach out to somebody else. Even the most, you know, even somebody that seems like they're the happiest person that you know, or most well-off person that you know, they even have the possibilities of suicide, because you never know what's going on in somebody's head. It's you know, everybody is unique, everybody has stressors, and sometimes the stressors can overpower us. It's those times that you really need to talk to somebody. It doesn't matter if you're to that point of suicidal thoughts, or if you're just, you know, down. It never hurts to open up and talk to somebody. It's not a weakness. It's definitely more of a courage, because you're opening yourself up. You're talking. You're inviting people into your life. And we should be there for each other. We really should. We're all in this together. As far as, you know, it doesn't matter who you are or what you are. We all have bad days. And there's no reason to make it worse on people. But there is every reason to look out for each other. And that's the thing that we need to take away. But anyways, again, I'm going to have this in the description. But 1-800-273-8255. It's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Lifeline, sorry. And then AFSP.org, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That's a good website to go to find out everything that you need to know. And if you're worried about somebody, go to the website, contact somebody, take it up to the next level, do what you have to do, but make sure that everybody is safe. And if you're going through a bad time and you need to talk, call the number. If you want, you can hit my Twitter up and talk to me. Or if you want to send me a private message, that's fine with me too. But either way, you know, make sure that you're making the most of it, and make sure that you try to stay positive and stay away from the negative. That will bring you down. So that's all I have to say right now. Thank you for viewing. Like, subscribe, comment, share, view the Twitter, and I love your faces, and I will talk to you later.